A 19890 Roosevelt dime is a modern circulation strike from the Denver Mint, produced in the hundreds of millions. On its own, the coin carries minimal collector value in average circulated condition, usually trading for face value. What makes it interesting to many hobbyists is not its date, but the possibility of mint errors or high-grade, untouched examples that can transform an ordinary coin into a valuable collectible. Circulated dimes from this era were struck on copper-nickel-clad plankets and often show wear on the high points of Roosevelt's portrait, especially the hair above the ear and the cheek area. Any 19890 dime that retains sharp details, full luster, and no signs of scratches or contact marks deserves a closer look because grade is the determining factor for premium value in modern coins. Uncirculated examples graded MS67 or higher command attention from collectors who focus on registry sets. These are sets ranked by third-party grading services where only the highest grade coins compete. Extremely high-end pieces can sell for far more than their face value because they are difficult to find in flawless condition, even from a high mintage year. A dime stored since new in a mint set, never handled, and free from typical bag marks can reach these upper grades. In contrast, a pocket change specimen almost never achieves such a grade due to circulation wear. Error varieties add another dimension of potential value. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, double-die obverse or reverse varieties, clipped plankets, and missing clad layer errors are among the most desirable. A 19890 dime struck significantly off-center, showing 10 to 40% misalignment with a visible date and mint mark, can be worth several times its face value. A missing clad layer error exposes the copper core and gives the coin a distinctive reddish color, making it easily recognizable to beginners searching through change. Dramatic and visually appealing errors attract the strongest demand, while minor anomalies may only bring modest premiums. Another area of interest is finding dimes with full torch FT or full bands FB designations. These terms describe sharply defined horizontal bands on the torch on the reverse. When fully separated and crisp, they indicate a strong strike. Although more common on older silver dimes, some clad examples can show this feature and attract premium interest from specialists. Checking loose change is exciting because unexpected treasures do appear. While the typical 19890 dime remains ordinary, examples with exceptional condition, striking quality, or rare mint errors can turn a simple coin into a noteworthy find for collectors who appreciate the nuances of modern U.S. numismatics. A 19790 Roosevelt dime is another high-mintage modern U.S. coin that usually carries no premium in circulated condition, but it becomes interesting when examined for strike quality, preserved mint state surfaces, or unusual errors. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these dimes, so worn pocket change examples remain worth face value. Most circulated pieces show typical abrasions and flattening on Roosevelt's hair, cheek, and jawline, along with dull luster from years of handling. Because these coins were mass-produced, quality varied, and many left the mint with small contact marks or weakly struck details, which reduces their grade potential. Any example with strong luster, sharp hair detail, and clean fields should be set aside, as grade is the main driver of value in post-1965 clad coinage. For collectors who build registry sets, high-end examples graded MS67 or better are the key targets. These coins must be nearly flawless, with minimal marks under magnification and full mint brilliance. Even though mint sets from the era provide a source of uncirculated pieces, truly top-tier survivors are still difficult to locate because of the heavy bagging and transport processes at the time. A coin stored untouched since 1979, free from hazing or spots, has a better chance of achieving a premium grade. Lower mint state pieces, such as MS63 to MS65, are common and typically bring only small premiums above face value. Error collectors also search 19790 dimes for notable varieties. Off-center strikes are among the most visually appealing and valuable when the date remains fully visible. Broad strikes, where the coin expands outward without a color, create a wider than normal planchette and attract interest for their dramatic appearance. Clipped plankets, showing crescent-shaped metal missing from the rim, also add collectible appeal. Missing clad layer errors, where the outer nickel coating fails to bond and exposes the copper core, can command strong premiums because of their distinctive two-tone look. Double dies are less common for this year, but any doubling on the date, mint mark, or lettering deserves careful examination and possible submission to a grading service. Strike designations linked to the torch bands on the reverse, often referred to as full torch FT or full bands FB, are harder to obtain for 1970s clad issues. Strongly defined horizontal bands indicate an excellent strike and can add value when paired with a high-grade surface. Searching rolls or bags may still yield sharply struck examples. While most 1979D dimes remain ordinary, coins with superior preservation or dramatic mint errors continue to offer rewarding finds for collectors who pay attention to detail. A 2016B Roosevelt dime is a modern-clad circulation coin from the Philadelphia Mint, produced in massive quantities, making ordinary circulated examples worth face value. What draws attention, however, is the potential for superb mint-state pieces or rare errors that can elevate the value far beyond 10 cents. Most circulated dimes show softening on Roosevelt's portrait, especially the hair above the forehead and the jawline, along with surface abrasions from handling. Any piece retaining bold luster, sharp hair strands, and clean fields should be separated from common pocket change pieces. In mint state, these coins range widely in quality because large-scale production often leads to minor flaws that prevent high-grade certification. Uncirculated examples pulled fresh from mint sets or bank-wrapped rolls have the best chance of reaching MS67 or MS68, grades that attract serious collectors, building competitive registry sets. The difference between a standard mint state coin and a top pop specimen can be subtle, requiring nearly flawless surfaces and a strong, even strike. While millions exist, very few qualify for the highest grading tiers, which is where premiums begin to appear. Error varieties offer even more dramatic value potential. A 2016B dime struck off-center with the date fully visible becomes an instant collectible, especially when the misalignment is significant. Missing clad layer errors are equally striking, revealing the copper core and creating a visually distinctive piece. Broad strikes, where the color fails and the coin spreads outward into a larger, flat shape, also attract premium interest. Clipped plankets, showing a curved missing section on the rim, are another desirable error type frequently sought by specialists. Collectors also watch for sharply struck torch bands on the reverse. Fully defined horizontal bands indicate exceptional striking quality and can add desirability when paired with a high mint state grade. Even in a year of high production, standout pieces and dramatic mint errors make the 2016B dime worth examining carefully in everyday change. Get ready, the seemingly ordinary dime in your pocket could be a hidden gold mine. We're talking about the 1980D Roosevelt dime, the Denver minted version of the Roosevelt dime, and why it's the kind of coin that makes collectors' jaws drop when one turns up in exceptional condition. The 1980D Roosevelt dime was produced by the United States Mint at the Denver facility. Its mintage was a whopping 719,354,321 coins. Wikipedia: the coin is clad, that means a copper core with a copper nickel outer layer, which has been standard for circulation dimes since 1965. Opening parenthesis PCGS.com, because so many were made, on the surface this coin seems very ordinary and common. In everyday circulated condition, the 1980D dime is worth basically face value. According to one guide, typical circulated examples are priced only around 10 cents to 35 cents, and GC coin uncirculated but unremarkable ones might be valued at around $2.76 or so in mint condition. USACoinbook.com, and yet, one must keep reading this section, because this is where the excitement kicks in. Despite the high mintage, rare exceptions exist, those coins that were struck with near-perfect condition, flawless surfaces, strong strike, vivid luster, and maybe even recognized as error or specialty varieties. For example, a grading reference shows a coin of this date, mint 1980D graded MS67+ by the grading company Professional Coin Grading Service. Opening parenthesis PCGS.com, another source suggests that depending on quality, strike type, and rarity category, the value could reach up to $100,000. Numismatic database. So while you'd never assume a dime that says 1980D is immediately worth thousands, under those perfect conditions, red-hot grade, exceptional eye appeal, the value can jump from a couple of dollars into hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands or more. The common nature gives the flip side surprise. Despite millions minted, one with superior quality becomes ultra rare. The gap between everyday value pennies and peak value thousands or more creates dramatic tension for viewers. Is the one in your hand just pocket change or a jackpot? For your video, emphasize the checklist. Mint mark D. Fabulous surface, high grade, no damage, ideal strike. Those are the clues that transform an ordinary dime into a possible high-value find. The 1980 Roosevelt dime has massive mintage, so most are common. Standard condition equals near face value. Uncirculated average equals a couple of dollars. But when one hits outstanding condition, looks like new, maybe with special attributes, the value scale leaps dramatically into the hundreds, thousands, or way more. Always inspect mint mark, condition, strike quality, color, and surfaces. Even if your exact coin doesn't hit the highest rare grade, the story of one that does is compelling and full of allure for viewers. Prepare yourself, because the 1970 Roosevelt dime, a coin almost everyone overlooks, hides one of the biggest ordinary dash-to-dash extraordinary transformations in U.S. coin collecting. What seems like a basic 10-cent coin can, under the right conditions, skyrocket into the $25,000. $43,000 or even jaw-dropping $78,000 range. And that's exactly why collectors never skip checking a 1970 dime. The right one turns pocket change into a life-changing discovery. The 1970 Roosevelt dime was struck at 3 locations: Philadelphia No mint mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S. Most of these dimes were made for heavy circulation, meaning they took years of wear in pockets, vending machines, and coin rolls. Because of that, high-grade survivors are extremely rare. Coins from this year also came from older dies, producing weak strikes, dull surfaces, and plenty of imperfections. That's what makes flawless, sharply struck, glowing luster examples so valuable. They rise far above the billions of ordinary circulation dimes. The Philadelphia issue is especially sought after because it had no mint mark, so collectors must judge rarity purely by condition, strike, and overall eye appeal. Only a tiny fraction of these coins exist in pristine mint state 67 or higher, and coins graded MS68 are essentially legendary. These top-tier grades are the ones that climb into the tens of thousands of dollars because collectors battle fiercely for the best of the best. And then come the rare varieties and errors, the secret weapons of high-value coin hunting. A 1970 dime with an exceptional strike, full bands, strong horizontal lines on the torch, blazing luster, or a dramatic mint error becomes exponentially more desirable. Missing mint marks, off-center strikes, double die obverses, or perfectly preserved proof-like surfaces can launch the value into the $25,000 to $78,000 plus zone at major auctions. These aren't ordinary finds. They're the rarest survivors from a year when dimes weren't expected to be saved, protected, or graded. For your viewers, that's the hook, a coin everyone has seen, everyone has spent, everyone has ignored. Yet one flawless example can be worth more than a brand new car. It builds suspense instantly. The audience wonders, what does mine look like? Could my old savings jar hold a hidden treasure? So the thrill comes from the chase, examining the mint mark, checking the torch bands, looking for mirror-like fields, spotting any special errors. Most will find just a regular 10-cent coin. But one lucky person holding that ultra-rare 1970 dime may be holding tens of thousands of dollars without even knowing it.